Well, hello folks. This video I wanted to share with you 3 annuals that show substantial promise for me to incorporate into my herbaceous layer here in the cross timbers ecosystem in my little permaculture garden. While I'm pointing these out to you, I'll probably point out some other seasonal changes that are happening between spring and summer. It's technically late spring, about a month before spring is over, and I don't often do spring videos. Mostly I do summer tour type videos. So while I'm out here, I might point out a few things. This spring we're having a nice lush spring. The drought is over from previous years, I think. We're probably in some places having too much water, and I'll point those out. This is the first new crop that I'm growing this year. It's called savanna mustard, and I don't think it's technically a mustard, and you can see it doesn't look so great, but I'll explain. When I first start evaluating a annual that I might start growing regularly, incorporate into my system, I want to kind of test it for hardiness. So I try to give it as little supplemental water as possible. I don't put any insecticide on it. I want to see how tough the plant actually is and how much maintenance it actually requires, because I don't want to commit to growing annuals that take a lot of maintenance. I want them to kind of blend into the natural ecosystem like any other plant that's native here. So far it seems to be doing okay. The first year I grew this, I planted it directly in the ground, and that's going to be true for all of these, and didn't get any that came up, or if they did come up, they were killed. So then I sprouted them in pots, and then this is the result. This is the second year. We'll see how it goes. Savanna mustard. So another part of my seed saving and crop testing strategy is to grow every crop in different parts of my yard to see how they do. And you can see this is another savanna mustard. It's doing much better in the growth department. It's a bit worse in the predator department. It's getting some shade from this arugula here, but that's, for the most part, it's doing okay. No supplemental water. While I'm here, that is my lone surviving chiltepin pepper. The rest of them are chili pequin, but it's in the ground and it's growing, and I have high hopes for it. The other thing I'll mention is, so far this year, none of my crops on anywhere have had any supplemental water at all. We've had, I wouldn't say it's a wet year, but like a wetter than normal year. But I would say it's about what normal would be. But lately, it's wetter than it has been. If you've watched my older videos, we've had some substantial droughts the last few years. You can see the flowers are out. Back in the back, little white flower way back here. That's a native blackberry bush. There's more of them on the property. I'll probably show you as we go around. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, this is the next crop that's new to me, that's showing great promise here in the cross timbers. This guy right here, we're gonna get up close, the amaranth. I wanted to show you all this action right here. Instead of killing the sunflowers, native sunflowers, you can just tree herd them and kind of bend them out of your way, which is what I've been doing for this, which this is a dead stick kind of, but it's the last of my hazelnut experiment. We'll see if it comes back. What's going on with it is it got way too wet and way too shaded, so that's why those are pushed back. Same here, some of these sunflowers are pushed down. Let me get my butt back here, so that way I can have more room for the amaranth. I planted a few varieties of amaranth on the property. I'm not sure which one this is, but whenever these finally ripen, I'll know. It's probably the red. I got a couple varieties. It doesn't really matter, because this is another thing that I do when I plant annuals or evaluate them, is I try to plant multiple varieties of them and to see which one will grow better. So the survivors are the seeds that I save. So this is all part of my annual crop choice strategy. Amaranth seems to be growing pretty good, not surprising seeing how well sunflowers do here. But we'll see how well it does with self-seeding, if it can do that, and how much seed I actually get from it that's productive. And but so far, so good. Here I'm going to show you another amaranth specimen. What's really wild is this bit. There's an amaranth and there's an amaranth, planted from the same seed at the same time. When they were put in the ground, they were roughly equal in their growth. Why one a few feet away does way worse than the other, I don't know. Maybe I messed something up in planting. But like I said, no supplemental water, so maybe there's something strange happening here. It gets less water somehow. But nonetheless, I'm not worried because I'm growing it for seed and selecting for seed and hardiness. And we've got a specimen that seems to be doing just fine. Behind it, you can see the sunflower, which, if you're blessed to have these, count yourself lucky. Oh, look at this. Oh, I wonder if that's ready. No, it's not ready. But I'm gonna pull it and eat it anyway. No, that was ready. This is, it looks, this overgrown garden bed is pretty neat. You got a wild lettuce growing up through the center. You got the blackberry growing in there with the sunflower. And you have passion flower, maypop, growing in there with the willow. And then up in the front, we have some chickasaw plum growing. And the other experiment for hazelnut is up in there. When I do a short tour video for the spring, I'll show it to you. But it's actually doing much better. It's actually alive. It's got green on it. Okay, on to the next crop. Okay, so I don't know if I want to make this the actual specimen for the third crop, but there it is. It's called perennial kale. It's doing okay. All brassicas in this environment, at least in my yard, they take a beating, and it's real difficult to grow them without doing something to take care of the cabbage worms and whatnot. So I kind of saw this coming, but what I want to see is, can it be devoured down to nothing and still sprout back just fine, just like my Georgia collard does. I have Georgia collard growing all over the yard, upwards of 25 plants, no, easily, maybe more. And so I decided to try this perennial kale out to see, you know, if it would do as good. And it actually seems to be holding its own with the Georgia collard. We'll see how it does during the winter. It might do even better. But the name kind of struck me, perennial kale. So I want to see if it does a bit better in the cold tolerance department. So it's got a long ways to go, the whole summer, and but I'm rooting for it. And I've got it in several other places, which, if you're blessed to have these, count yourself lucky. You can see another perennial kale down in there. Predator department, it's seeming to do a bit better. This one did get gnawed down to nothing, so it came back. So that's very promising. Although I had one back here that also died, and it's gone for good. While I'm here, I wanted to show this. That's carrot. So I got two carrots in this bed. One is here, and it's a black carrot. And then I have this. I'm only growing these for seed. I've got a few carrots growing on the property. I believe this variety is one I've been seed saving for over 17 years, and it's quite hardy. As you can see, it made it through the drought just fine. And with all this water this spring, it's loving it. And give yourself a rose. Okay, so this is not a new crop in my garden, but it is a quince apple. My first quince apple. It's kind of small, but hey, it's the first one. This tree is about, I would guess, about 18 inches high. Not bad. I got 3 trees up here, 3 quince trees. You can see the chiltepin, my massive one, came back. I need to trim some of this old growth back. Now that it's sprouted back, I can see where it is. And next to it, another one of those perennial kales. Now, these took a beating because my fig tree had overgrown it and I didn't keep up with it. You can see up under here, the wild rocket arugula is just going crazy, exactly as I want. And we have some more specimens of the savanna mustard here. We have 4 of them growing. 4 savanna mustards, all roughly in the same shape as they are in the other places. They definitely like full sun, and experimenting with them. There's not as much sun here, but I think something else that causes the predators to be a bit more is it's right next to basically a stream. But no, this overhang actually shadowed it out too much. We'll see here, perennial. Yeah, there it is, perennial kale. It got some good growth. It's overgrown with fuzzy bean. I'm gonna have to take that off of there. It will kind of shade out, but it had some good growth. So it seemed to like this spot. It's just the predators took it over. But now there's not a predator 1 on there because there's nothing to eat. and it should be sprouting back. At least let's hope. If not, then I just won't grow it. Oh yeah, look at that Mustang grape coming through the fig. So I got trellis material here for this Mustang grape is going to be all of that. That should be enough. So I do have some more amaranth and savanna mustard up in here, but there's really no need to show it to you. They're roughly about the same, probably a little bit lower growth because this garden bed gets less water. We've been working on that, and I'll show you how we've been doing with the water capture. It's going a little too well, but you might be able to see a broadleaf up in there. With these little pom-poms here, that's the garlic flowering. We'll have the native wild onion going to seed this time of the year. This is not feral onion, this is a native species here. And it's decided to seed all in this stream, and it's just flowing down this stream and spreading wild as it should. I've already showed you the fuzzy bean. Now I know, here's some more quince trees. I know I've been up in here, and there's another quince apple. So that's pretty nice. All this water has been good for the common mint. It's just loving it. Have all the mint I can eat. It's even growing over my Nanking cherry, kind of shading it out. So that's interesting. This garlic I cut all the little pom-poms off. And as soon as you do that, they're done for the year, this time of the year. And my wild strawberry bed is going wildfire here, down in there. And more of the wild onion, you can see a lot more of the seed heads for it, a lot healthier. And it's gone wild, it's spread all over the place here. Now, I told you I wanted to show you how the water capture's been going. The pond has had water for 6 months. And that's a little bit more than what it was before I started my efforts to try to capture water. You can see, there it is. And there's a lot of water coming in from that little seepage there. But there's also a lot of water coming in from my own generated capture, which is real nice. You can see that water there. Here we go. And it's getting a little too wet, unfortunately. If we cross over my little, what I call a poor man's swale, you can see the water standing here. Slowed down and stopped so it can soak into the ground, but that caused a casualty. My 3-leaf sumac female, one of only 2 that I have on the property. That's unfortunate. Hopefully it will come back, but thistle seems to like it, edible thistle. You can see the water here in my little mini swell here that I haven't finished digging. I'm going to eventually dig it all the way across. If it gets too wet here, I'm not worried about it. I'll just grow different things. But hopefully I don't have to worry about it. This native Texas persimmon seems to be loving it. Got some of that wild strawberry all the way up here. So you can see the water capture is working. You got Nanking cherry there, and get this thistle off of it. Mustang grape holding strong. Got it in a few places. Wild blackberry. Blackberry harvest this year is going to be pretty good because of all the rain. I think we're doing all right. Yeah, see, this is water from my yard being redirected and captured. Yeah, see, look at that. Not bad. Not bad this year. See if I get my second blackberry out here. Yeah, it's not quite ripe, but I'm gonna eat it anyway. Yummy. No, it was ripe. Oh man. I hope that microphone catches those eating sounds. My little sage died, too much water, but the oregano took its place. The reason why I'm down here is because I know for sure, at least I had, a quince apple on this guy. This here is a quince, and I know I've seen it, but sometimes the fruit drops early if something is, under stress, so it may not be on here. As soon as I stop the camera, that's when I'll find it. Now, I knew I had more quince apples, And I was right, and here they are. I got a lot more than I thought I did. I got 3 of them right here. 1, 2, 3, see? Yeah. I probably got some more in there. So another first. But you know, we've got the onions mixed in, the garlic, some of it. I just cut the palms off. I have to come back down and munch on that blackberry. Now this, I'm looking forward to. The pear harvest. Did pretty good. I trimmed this tree this year and it seemed to really like it. I trimmed my nectarine, but I haven't finished. So I don't think I'm gonna get a nectarine harvest this year. I gotta get that sucker back under control. This nectarine I'm gonna leave and just let it go wild. Now I wanted to point out when I said I had too much water. Oh, look at this, nice little comfrey flowers. So, as I was saying, when I said I had too much water, this is a casualty. This nice big chickasaw plum tree is gone, and the little guy in between behind it is gone. That's okay, because plenty of suckers have been sent out, and I just gotta wait for it to get that big. And that's in a better location, honestly. So the tree, it knew better what to do. Oh, look at that. The Malabar spinach has come up. This is a good self-seeding annual for, it'll hold over winter. And so did the lemon balm come up on its own. Oh, nice big fat beet in there. Look at that. Some carrots. That's really nice. Oh, look at that chickasaw plum harvest. You see all the red? Yeah, this tree, they can be yellow or they can be red. But the tree next to it, which is much larger, nothing. Oh, I got a broken branch. We've had some high storms, so some of the fruit may have gotten knocked off. But yeah, these trees have bit the dust because of too much water. So I have to clear those out and start over. That's unfortunate. But overall net number of trees on the property, Chickasaw plum trees, is still the same. We'll see how the coral honeysuckle archway is doing here. It's not bad underneath, but up top it looks nice. It was a bit more spectacular a few weeks ago. Like I said, everything flowered early and seems to be wanting to end early. Lots of maters in there. Okay, so we got a passion flower running up. Another casualty of all the water, this American plum. And this American plum in its native environment gets much taller. And I've noticed this with a lot of East Texas natives. This is true for everything from walnut to elderberry. They tend to be dwarfed or stunted. Real difficult to get their maximum size in this environment because they're just not native here. But this American plum is alive and well. I planted a new one. But this I'm going to use as a trellis for this passion flower. It seems to like it. And I'll let this commercial feral plum take its place. We have some more pears. Look at that. Nice big pears on this Moonglow dwarf. And the elderberry, all of it came back. I got a real tall one I'll show you as well. I'll cut it in. So I wanted to bring you over here to the other elderberry. I have some tree trimming I need to do. But the reason why I want to bring you to the other elderberry is because it's taller than me over here. See it? Yeah. And it has spawned off its crown, new elderberries. Nice little elderberry patch here. So I've noticed this one growing a lot of East Texas natives. The secret is 100% shade. Yeah, this guy is growing in almost nearly 100% shade. And this is the best results that I've gotten with elderberry. And this is true for all of my East Texas natives, from walnut to hickory to whatever. If you're growing East Texas natives in the cross timbers, at least when they're young, they seem to really love just complete and total shade. So there you go, that's the other elderberry. Yeah, it's another pear tree here. Well, this is something I wanted to show. It spread itself all over the, well, no, I helped it a lot. This is lantana, and I've spread it all over the property. I got it in 2 new locations. I'll show you some of the lantana blooms. Here you go. There you go. Nice little lantana blooms and the seeds. All you do is just grab those seeds when they're ripe. Just go throw them where you want lantana. I'll show you another location where it came up. Yeah, there's the last location for the lantana. At the base of this chickasaw plum tree. Seems to love it. Look at that. That is exquisite. Look at that. It won't focus because it's moving. All of my plums are producing except for the new ones I put in this year, so that's good. Some are producing better than others. It's a bit dry here. You can see these plums are doing quite well, but so many of them have spread in this nice little row of plums, so I'm not worried about the ones I lost. All right, so I have a special treat that I want to show you. And this is another first for me this year, and I'm real excited about this. What are you looking at? That is a native Texas persimmon. This is a Texas persimmon tree. I'm real excited because that means I definitely have at least one female and I can grow more from seeds. Thanks to the neighbors for giving me some music to do this to. Isn't that amazing? Texas persimmon. Oof. Look at that. Yeah, the best in suburban living, am I right? Okay, that about covers it. All the firsts. Oh, look at this bed. I wanted to show this just to show how overgrown it is. There's a lot of fuzzy bean mixed in here, but there's also crops mixed in, and when it gets overgrown, of course, the pests get overgrown as well. There's an amaranth not doing so well down in here I have to take care of. Yeah. So you can see that's not doing too well, but it ain't doing too bad either. Got a few overgrown crops to get in there, but it's just been hectic trying to keep up with it all, with all the rain. It's just growing so fast. You can see what I'm talking about. Look at that blackberry. All right, folks, y'all have a good one. Oh wow, just can't ask for better weather than this. I got this, the storm edition. So for completeness, I'm going to show you the Mexican plum garden bed. You can see they're getting quite tall. This one here is at least 12 foot tall. And I got one way in the back over there. You can see it's gone up quite nice. Got some little guys catching up. Yeah, see, it's not bad. They're gonna make it. But I just wanted to show that to you because finally getting Mexican plum established. Oh, one other thing. The reason why there was so much water at my lazy man swale is because I've started digging in little mini swales up here this high in the elevation, and that really has made quite a bit of difference. Here's another little seasonal item for later in the spring. This here is a broadleaf dock. You see it's going to seed. It makes a kind of a mess, but eventually this time of the year I can just get in here and cut it out of there, and I'm left with sunflowers. It did kind of suppress the sunflower growth, which I'm not too happy with, but they still made it, and I still got some young ones to come up, so I still have high hopes for later.